Blessed love, I am the Honorable Priest Isaac. I am an official priest within the realms of Rastafari of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. I also hold a certification in the craft of astronomy from Politecnico di Milano in Italy. Our universe and its makeup has always been an intriguing subject for humankind. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Ancient astronomy is similar, but pays special attention to the physical and spiritual values of stars, planets, moons, and other celestial objects. It also brings in the terrestrial component, being things on an earthly plane, such as plants, human organs, and connects them to the heavenly bodies. In this course, you will learn the makeup of various planets and stars, how to locate them in the night sky, along with their associated constellations. You will also be taught about the earliest civilizations known for their astronomical comprehension, namely Kush, also known as ancient Ethiopia, Kemet, called Egypt today, the Dogons, and the Bozos, as well as the civilization of Sumer. You will also learn about black holes, their nature and origin, as well as how the ancients viewed them. Ancient astronomy is the mother of archaeoastronomy and astrotheology. Both subject areas are covered by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Sign up today. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, for more information.
Blessed love to each and every one. We definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. We give thanks for your presence with us, definitely in the Tiger's Nest, the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. Decided to spend a moment with the faithful, especially those who are definitely entering into the period of fasting. And ones were asking of the connection with fasting and the cannabis, and the connection of fasting with the ganja. So we said we will definitely go into that this evening. Royal family, we give thanks for such a moment, because interestingly, in the religious world, for example, the time of Ramadan is at hand, where you have the Islamic world going through their period of fasting. And then, of course, you have the Catholic world going through the period that is referred to as Lent, which is their level of fasting. And again, as I have highlighted over the years, what we as Bobo Shanti do is not a religious act, because at this very time, the earth is actually cleaning itself out. Look at the moment of today, the equinox, springtime, new beginning. You could see it in nature. I observed that with my eyes. Even at the time of when it comes to the resurrection period, the Good Friday moment, you'll be able to smell it from the sea, the literal cleansing of the ocean. So we know that this is a time prescribed by the Black Christ, a time for the fasting and the praying and holding of a good meditation and sharing love and joy. And we're thankful for each and every one who are definitely keeping that strength. So keep in mind, that the science of abstaining from food is a very serious science. As I was saying on our program, The Tiger's Nest, previous evening, what we call fasting today is just a simple, natural, ancient way of eating. Because again, most people that fast 40 days and 40 nights, it's not as if they just stop eating for 40 days and 40 nights. No. For example, those of us as Bobo Shanti, some people fast until 12 midday, and then at 2 o'clock, they back into the fasting again. So technically, they would be eating one meal per day. It's almost the same thing with ones who do it in the Islamic way. Because if you have ever read the book, How to Eat to Live, written by Elijah Muhammad says that an individual should be trying his or her best to eat one meal a day. He actually goes on to say, when you conquer that, go and try to see if you can eat one meal every 2 days. You think he stops there? No, man. Elijah Muhammad said, try again and see if you can conquer eating one meal every 3 days. So again, what we may be calling a fast, and a fast is just a very broad term because some people drink water all day long and tell you they're on a water fast. Some people still eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they're just eating fruits, papaya and banana, and they will tell you that they're on a fruit fast. Interestingly, the world has junk food and they call it fast food. You understand? But I guess the real fasting food, again, is the fruits, and warm honey tea. All of these things, when you understand even how to break the fast as well. So it's a deep subject area, royal family. You have what is called the dry fast, which is what has been prescribed for those of us within the order of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, where we neither eat and drink until the appointed time when you break your fast. So we give thanks again, keeping in mind that fasting is a remedy for the lack of discipline that many of us will have within flesh. Because you must understand, when you are able to keep yourself away from food, literal food, and water, sexual intercourse, these are balances, these are the things that are necessary for life, You need water to live. You need food to live. You need intercourse to live. That's where life comes forth from. So if you can master these three things, the universe is at hand. Creation is yours when you start to tap into yourself. But the reality is, family, when you can balance yourself as it relates to the time you eat and what you eat and how often you eat, then you become a master, or you become a scholar towards your full masterhood, towards balancing your life and balancing yourself and the highest of discipline. So fasting is definitely a powerful tool. But again, as I said, as it relates to the cannabis now, the ancient cannabis sativa, that is what we want to get into this evening. And I just want to remind my royal family that are definitely with us that we will be officially launching the Ambassador's Pen. That is our online mini magazine. It is really a journal that comes out every month. And we are officially launching the Ambassador's Pen on the 21st day of April, 2025. So I'm looking forward to everyone being in the house. Of course, you can register. Registration is free. You can email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. You can visit the website, priestisaacinstitute.com. Of course, all the links are in the description in the video below. And all you have to do is let us know that you'd like to register for the upcoming webinar, the launch of the Ambassador's Pen. It's going to be a beautiful session. We intend to have some guest speakers there, you know, and some surprises as well. And of course, we will be highlighting what the Ambassador's Pen is already doing and will be doing internationally. And this is why we are also encouraging everyone to be a part of the Ambassador's Pen. In the future, we will be looking for individuals to submit articles for the Ambassador's Pen as well. But again, for those of you who have businesses, those of you who are entrepreneurs, those of you who have your startups and all of these different things, royal family, you should definitely be with us in this upcoming first edition of the Ambassador's Pen. And speaking of that, while I look for some information for you, you would have heard on the news, if those of you who keep close to the news, of the attempted assassination of the president of Somalia. Apparently that took place either today or yesterday. The Al-Shabaab Islamic so-called terrorist group that they teach us about supposedly sent a rocket after the president's entourage, or his, what you call it, his convoy. But he was spared and he's still alive and he is all right, according to the news. So it is these sort of events we highlight, especially when it comes to the Horn of Africa. I want you to understand that the Horn of Africa is very important to our liberation. Even diplomatic connection with the Horn of Africa is very key to those of us who are speaking about redemption. So the Horn of Africa is a very important aspect of the Ambassador's Pen. So again, you would see in the magazine Kidemi, the magazine that comes out once every 6 months, that's Kidemi, internationally renowned already, Kidemi. I'm looking to hear Kidemi winning some magazine awards very soon. Don't worry, I will keep you up to date. Definitely, I'm very serious. But for sure, the Ambassador's Pen will be coming out every month. I want you to understand that. And again, you could definitely advertise with us. You could see the rates right in front of you. And you can see not only are they very economical, but we have special offers where you get a year's plan 50% off. Imagine that. So if you want a spread or a full page or half a page, whatever it is, and you want it for a full year, 50% off. You understand? A 6 months plan, 20% off, a 3 months plan, 10% off, because you must keep in mind that the Ambassador's Pen is coming out every month. So again, this is the time for those of you who are serious about business, for sure. Even at this time, we already have tens of thousands of readers already. Now you may say, so how you have tens of thousands of readers in the Ambassador's Pen and it's not officially launched yet? That's the word, officially launched. We already have issued 2 editions of the Ambassador's Pen. The Forerunner edition, which highlighted peace in the Horn of Africa. You could actually see it here, and that is Sheikh Hassan Mohamud, the president of Somalia, or Somalia's president, who apparently they said was escaped an assassination attempt today, shaking hands with Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. They were at loggerheads just a few months ago. So that was really the first edition, which was the Forerunner edition. And then there was the 38th African Union Summit, and we did an edition for that. And this is what you see here in the corner. And those editions, remember, keep in mind, we have a wide subscription for the magazine Kidemi. So everyone who is subscribed to Kidemi and those who are not subscribed to Kidemi, we still send out the ambassador's pen because remember our email list, our contact list, our network is growing and growing. Those of you who are in our evolution class, you understand the science of what I'm talking about. So we have hundreds of thousands of people that we are sending our information to. And that is why when you advertise with us, you are definitely sure that you're going across the board, all different types of individuals, different levels of business, millionaires, etc., going up the ladder when you advertise with the ambassador's pen. Very good. In fact, this ad right next to the ambassador's pen, this is an ad. It looks very simple, but very inspiring. Be inspired. It is an official ad from the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Department. This is a paid ad in the magazine Kidemi, so I would advise ones to take advantage of that. Beautiful. So, you know, as I said, since we are in the magazine Kidemi and the whole conversation is about not only just the fasting, but the cannabis as it relates to the fasting. Now, you see, let me say, even as a Bobo Shanti, this is something because you hear many different elders say many different things. Now, I'm not going to try to give you all the different versions I would have heard over the years. It may sound strange, but you just got to trust me. You know, if you don't, well, you can go and do the research yourself, which you still should too. But I would have sat with the elders that would have sat with the Father. And although it's like reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and even the Acts of the Apostles, where you get some different versions of the same story, you know, you use wisdom, wise mind, and common sense to figure the thing through. So my comprehension for sure is you must keep in mind that this fast that Bobo Shanti keep up is really a churchical thing. So it's not really a stay-at-home and a lay-down thing. And it's like the Sabbath. It's a churchical thing. So it's something that you do in a churchical formation from early and bright in the morning time. So you know how the Bobo Shanti day begins. You know, it begins specifically with the morning devotion, Psalms reading and morning devotion. And then after the morning devotion, you go straight into the service. And the service carries you until midday. And then at midday, you break the fast in the tabernacle. I'm giving you the pristine, correct way that it is done. And you break your fast in the tabernacle. And then you, by 12:30, 1 o'clock, you are out. And you go and have your one meal. Good. So the order is, from my comprehension, is that as a discipline, you rise early, 4 o'clock, you know, and you hold a meditation. Now, chalice is what we recommend because chalice is what we know. Our understanding is that King Emmanuel is chalice, not spliff. But outside of that, we would have already taken the time, I think, over the years to explain from a biblical and other levels why the chalice and the cannabis is as sacred can get. And we're going to touch upon some of that this evening. So you rise in the morning and you hold a proper meditation. And then you go to service. It's fasting and praying. And if you break in your fast at 12, you should be in the service really. And that takes you up until 12. Now, you may say, well, listen, man, at 9 o'clock, I might just want to leave and go and hold the next meds and come back. That's interesting, eh? I don't think that anyone is barring you from doing that. But what happens now is that there's a specific bowl that you drink from when you're breaking your fast. And it is said that
once the service would have begun and you go and smoke anything, when you come back to the service, of course you can break your fast, but not from that bowl. No matter how much you wash your mouth out there, you could have brushed your teeth. That's not the point. Something would have changed, and when you come back in, from what I've learned, you do not drink from that bowl that the others who would have not burnt again drank from. So it's a science, because it's chemistry as well. Serotonin and melatonin. It's a lot of things when it comes to King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards' order that we overlook or underlook. Some of us, as if we're not even ready to have a discussion on that. This is an article that you would see in the magazine Kidemi, and remember the link for all the magazines are in the description, so you could just link the magazine Kidemi, and this is a beautiful article, an interview that I did with Dr. Emmanuel, Dr. Marshall Emmanuel, a professor at the Department of Science and Technology, University of the West Indies, Mona Campus in Jamaica. So Brother Emmanuel had some good things to say. It was a radio interview that I did with him. And it was, no, it was a YouTube interview, really, that the audio has become a radio program. And this is an excerpt from it. And let me just give you a touch of it. And it says here, so the logic is always there, but what I've always seen, based on my experience, is that in the Caribbean, we can use that to get into the whole cannabis discussion. The Caribbean is not new to the agricultural value chain. We are built on agricultural value, from sugarcane to bananas to coffee to ornamental plants. We have always adhered to the international appeal of exporting agricultural commodities. So because cannabis is also an agricultural commodity that we know is the most internally traded commodity in the Caribbean region, and fetches the highest economic value in its raw state, but yet every Caribbean country is developing its own legislation and infrastructure to be export-oriented, not to the neighboring countries, but to the first world countries to compete with global superpower. That's a massive statement that the doctor made there. I mean, that alone deserved the Nobel Peace Prize, brother. I don't know if many of us understand what was just read there. That the good brother Emmanuel, Marshall Emmanuel, Professor Emmanuel from the University of the West Indies was saying, and he was clearly highlighting that cannabis, legal or illegal, is the most internally traded commodity. This has been for a while now. Illegally, the most traded, internally traded amongst ourselves commodity in the Caribbean, and fetches the highest economic value in its raw state. That's what Professor Emmanuel is saying. But yet still, every Caribbean country is developing its own legislation and infrastructure to be exported oriented, not to the rest of us, but to somebody else, Uncle Simon, Uncle Big Ben, and Uncle Reich, and Uncle this and Uncle that. And I wouldn't go any more beautiful words, and beautiful article here. In English-speaking Caribbean in particular, we have a population of 40 million people. We are not reinventing the wheel, the cycle of the wheel. These are quotations from the excerpt. So you can read it for yourself. This one says, but if you go to Barbados, even in Antigua, where you, Priest Isaac, are, the value of cannabis is probably some of the highest in the world. All right, that's a Another statement, another peace prize there for you, my brother. Give thanks again and again, family. The link is in the description below. You can definitely take your time, go through the whole package, and not just the package, go through the magazine itself and get a good understanding of where we are. Beautiful. Now, as I was saying, the cannabis now. So that's a good start as we enter to the realms of the cannabis. And although I said what I said earlier of the order, especially as it relates to the churchical aspect, because you must understand, this is a sacred thing. And it may sound strange to some Ras, but this is not a smoky order. We don't go in the tabernacle burning, for those who may not know. The Bobo Shanti order. We do not partake of anything, no smoking of spliff or burning of anything inside of the tabernacle. It is set differently. So you prepare yourself and then you come and you give worship. I know his house is full with smoke, but yeah, that's his temple, filled with the smoke, filled with the clouds, in the case of those of us who chalice and steam chalice. So the point I'm making is that the sacredness is such that there is a time and place for it. And when it comes to fasting, you're not eating. There has to be big consideration of how you're going to handle this. Now, I can speak for myself, and I know I can speak for many others, that because we understand the sacredness of the chalice, I can hardly see myself fasting without my chalice blazing. You understand? That is, to me, the spiritual comfort, because you must understand that the cannabis in connection to the chalice is of an anciency and of a different level. You're dealing with astral projection here. I want you to comprehend that. You're dealing with the ether world here. You're dealing with the emotional and the mental world here, and the physical world as well, when you partake of the cannabis sativa. And don't let nobody run and tell you anything. Well, I agree with you, but you're not supposed to smoke it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the ancient chalwa that the scriptures already explained to me, and the lamb's bread and the Osiris who was cut into several pieces, the green god, the tree of life is symbolic of the Christ figure. So you see cannabis pollen is found in the mummy of Ramesses II, who trod on in 1213 BCE. So you understand that from ancient Kemet, you see the cannabis utilized as the ancient incense on the walls, because remember, even over the head of Shishat, and Shishat is the wife of the wise Tahuti. She has a cannabis leaf over her head, and she is the keeper of the records of the wisest of the wise, Tahuti. Some call him Jahuti. They call him Thought. That's where we get the term thought. What you think, your thought, and the power of your thought, because the Kemetic God, the Kemetic Neter, who's the wisest of the wise, his name is Thought, which is really a Greek term, by the way, but I'm speaking of Tahuti. So again, ancient Ramesses already expressing on the walls that he dealing with the burning fire. He dealing with the burning bush. Because remember, it is when Moses was speaking to the burning bush, he was having a conversation with the Most High God. In the books of Ezra, second Ezra, Ezra says when he went up into the mountain, God gave him a cup with water, but it was red like fire. That's the chalice, which is not no spliff now, the chalwa, because when we go through the scriptures, we don't find no spliff. I'm just telling you how it is, because you need the elements of the water. I mean, we're going straight home, you know, we can't stay halfway. We just have to say what it is. And the water and the bread at the communion of Christ, the Last Supper, he had the two elements, the water and the bread, the bread and the wine, because you must keep in mind that the bread is him. Everything is him. The lamb represents him, and the bread represents him. So the lamb's bread represents him too. That's it. The tree of life is the Christ. You should understand that from theology and that other science. Can't remember what they call it. The eschatology, something of the sort, but dealing with the esoterics and all of that. Yes, the Christ is the tree of life. There is a tree that represents the tree of life, but the real tree of life is the man who was manifested, the God manifested as a human being that came to sacrifice himself for all. That is why it's at the Last Supper, before he was crucified, before he was sacrificed, that you have the breaking of the bread, the lamb breaking the bread, the lamb's bread, the sacrifice. You know, that is why I say all the time, you need the wine and the bread, not just the bread, the wine and the bread, because remember, it's the water that turned into wine. All symbolic, but yet still literal. The water that turned into wine. Wine is symbolic of the blood. The seawater that turned red. All of us, every one of us, is that fulfillment, because we all come from the seawater, the salinity. We all come from the water in the womb of our mother. We all the Adam, the red man. I'm telling you, brother. Yeah. When he had the first miracle of the Christ was at the marriage supper at Canaan. And at the marriage supper of Canaan, the marriage of the Lamb, the marriage of the Lamb, he turned the water into blood. Okay, I'm symbolic, yo. He turned the water into wine. That is symbolic to show you he is here now. He's born. The Messiah is here as a human being, the wine, the red man, the blood. Deep stuff. That's why when the fire leaves from heaven and it hits, bam, the water, according to Revelation, the water turned red. The water turned to blood. That is why the fire of the chalice, when it hit the water in the ball, the water turned green. The water turned to blood. What? Yeah, because green now, chlorophyll is the blood of the plant. Yeah, and not just to say it like that, like it's fun, but the molecular structure of chlorophyll and the molecular structure of the blood is the exact same, except the blood has the iron, where the chlorophyll has magnesium. That's all. You can turn chlorophyll to blood by taking out magnesium and putting in iron, if you understand alchemy and all the other types of chemistry and how to do it. That's just reality. So symbolism has come literal, because again, the green god is an ancient symbol, you know, from Osar to Pakal's Mass, the green god, Kul Kukan, the green god, Hulk, the green god. Ho, 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 green giant, jolly green giant, the green god. So the green god is a plant god, you know, because the plant is the lamb's bread, again, the tree of life. That is why the blood of the plant, I'm telling you, yeah. So the water becomes wine, the water becomes blood, you know, break the bread and drink the wine. The lamb breaking the bread, the lamb's bread inside. So it's a deep thing, eh? This ain't no religious understanding. This is the depths of the science. Because as we've always showed, that the first constellation is Botis. See, the Bobo man, Botis, the man with a turban on his head. In the northern sky, blazing a chalice going way high. That's the first constellation. You can see it in the Arab writings from the golden age of Islam. And for sure, you know, again, as we highlighted again in the book of Isaiah, you look in the book of Isaiah, Isaiah chapter 6, it talks about Isaiah being in the temple of King Uzziah. No. In the year that King Uzziah died, he was in the temple of the Most High God. And he saw the cherubims having 6 wings. They covered their face and they covered their feet, and with 2 wings they flied. Oh, they flew, pardon me. And one of them flew unto him. No, before they flew unto him, Elijah, not Elijah, Isaiah was saying, woe is me that I can stand in the house of the Most High God with unclean lips, and me, imagine that. But he was worthy. And the angel came and took with the thong a coal from off of the altar and came and placed it on his lips. And he said, yeah, my lips are clean now, and I will go. Remember, the house was filled with smoke. That's one of the things he said when he came in, that the house was filled with smoke. So a lot of smoking was taking place. And the angels took the coal from off of the altar and placed it on his lips. Now, obviously, I mean, come on, that would burn his lips. But you see, it's symbolic again, because that's what happened when you partake of the chalice, is the coal from off of the altar. And this is the altar itself. Place it on the lips. Family, this is not no regular thing. This is not something that we huff and scuff about. There's a reason why the authorities banned the plant when the emperor became the emperor. Even the Christ in the Bible is described as a plant. You see, this thing is deep. And the same plant in the Bible is the same plant that they say is a plant of renown. And the leaves of this plant shall be for the healing of the nation, shall bear 12 manner of fruits. It is the same cannabis sativa, the same faizan from the Oriental world. So this is why you see the Buddha, this is why you see the Shiva and the Vishnu partaking of it. And of course, these brothers are always fasting as well. You understand? So you'd have to understand and comprehend how to deal with this spiritual plan, this spiritual ritual, while you are abstaining from food. And you see, the reason why we brought it down like this, because sometimes it's not just what am I supposed to do? What am I not supposed to do? Sometimes you have to enrich your thought so you can value what you're supposed to do, so you can value what you're not supposed to do. Because just comprehending the history, even the little of what I just said as it relates to the Bible and the chalice, and those who have studied the classes and the lectures and the documentaries we have done on the Holy Grail, you know that this is not even a nutshell. In a nutshell, summary, nothing of the sorts when it comes to understanding the value of the chalice, when it comes to understanding the value of the cannabis. I would invite anyone who is serious to on our YouTube channel, go and look at the video entitled The Holy Grail. I think I have a few of them, but anyone you choose is good enough. You know, it might be 2 or 3 hours long. That's what you need. And you see, I not break down, but build up. Again, the importance of the chalice. You know, if you're serious, when you listen to that, you don't want to rap no spliff again. When you understand the importance of the cannabis, and then how it relates to even the atmosphere around you when the smoke comes out or the clouds come out of your nostril after passing through the pineal gland and the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus gland and picking up in its magnetic energy all your thoughts and carrying them up into the rest of the heavens and becoming clouds. Many ones don't know the stuff you smoke out literally becomes cloud. It's embedded in the heavens with your thoughts. Gods and goddesses of the earth, man, but we don't even know the power we have with the genie lamp. This is the genie lamp when you rub this and you make a wish. But it's how it's done. This is symbolic of the womb of the woman. That is why when the fire hits the water again, it turns to the chlorophyll. Green water, when you throw this out, the water is green. And then the cloud comes up into the pipe and goes through the temple. This is a new level of smoke. It's not smoke anymore, it's actually clouds. That's why when you draw the chalice, you literally see the smoke coming out of the hole, the breathe hole going down. Because that is symbolic of the rivers of life, because that is literally the cloud. I'm going to show you royal family. Yes, royal family, give thanks, no man, for being with I. I want everyone to know that we're definitely reminding you of the ambassador's pen. Now, the ambassador's pen, the launch of the ambassador's pen, I'm going to light the chalwa and show something to you. We're launching the ambassador's pen. Of course, we're talking about on the 21st of April 2025. And this is going to be the seminar, the webinar. And I'm looking for everyone to register with us, to be with us. You can register for free. There is no charge to register to be a part of the ambassador's pen launching my royal family. And of course, the sooner would also be the better. And I am encouraging you to advertise with the ambassador's pen. For advertising with us, for sure, you will be assisting the cause as well, and your product, your service, whatever, will definitely get an added boost. That's no question for sure. At this time, remember, I would have already done the work. I'm telling you, well, I haven't done, but works have been done, for sure, but we ain't done at all. But I'm telling you, we have a strong network of many, many individuals that look at what we are producing. So once you are part of our catalog, you can definitely be assured of that. So let us take a draw of the chalwa here. Praise far right, since I'm standing up, we face the east. Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Mother of the blessed love. You take a draw and the jar. I want you to watch this closely. You watch it, you see it's flowing down like a river, as if it's a, a river, a waterfall. Now, within the atmosphere, even the windows, etc. So it's not sealed tight. So you can still get a little play from the wind.
But in reality, you can see that the so-called smoke that comes out of the ball is going down. Why is that? Because you're dealing with thick, heavy clouds. The smoke that comes out of this top is going up because that's a raw smoke. Now, the science is different, Rastafari, because I gotta clean my chalice regularly. And every single time I clean my chalice, I say, wait, that means if I wasn't using my chalice, this is what I have to be cleaning from inside of me. And you see, King Emmanuel had different shanks, several shanks, and King Emmanuel had a long shank. And I'm telling you, I would have done the experiment. When you burn with a long shank, it's a different realms all by itself, that's for sure. But when you take the long shank, longer than this, and you crack it into, you would notice that it has a tar inside because you got to clean a chalice, Ras. But the longer the shank, the less the tar, to the point that when it reaches to the top, there's nil or none. So even a short shank, you still have a buildup of the tar even around the rim sometimes. Meditate that. Don't pretend you don't see it, brothers and sisters. It's just the reality. So that's why someone's have gone strictly to the steam. I give thanks. I love my steam. But hey, the man say his house was filled with smoke. And again, I must say, the clouds itself, I think the clouds also suffice. I think the clouds are as pure as the vapor. You see what they have as vapor in the medical world. That's the steam chalice. The steam chalice is the vapor in the medical world. Royal family, I'm talking about the essay competition. The essay competition. God, Akhenaton. The essay competition, royal family. Let me say, give thanks to all those who would have assisted such a move. Now we will be having the prize giving ceremony for the essay competition on the 13th day of April. Let me make sure I'm correct. Yes, I think I'm correct. The 13th day of April. So we're very thankful again for all of those who would have partaken of the essay competition, all of those who are definitely on board to receive their prize. Yes, just have to make sure you see what's going on here. So again, give thanks for those who would have contributed for sure. It was a lot of work this year, and this is why we are giving them up until the end of March to send in their essays. But let me just share with you, these are just few of the prizes. This is a tablet. This was literally donated. Pardon me, let me just show you properly. This came directly from the West Indies Oil Company. And this is a Galaxy tablet. This will be one of the prizes for one of the winners in this year's essay competition. So we're very thankful for that organization, for that. And as well, this is a massive laptop it is. Let's just take a quick look and see what type, name, brand. It's one of those HP laptops, and this actually came from the Department of Education. And this is the second year that they will be contributing towards this educational endeavor, I would say. Because you see, our outlook is that there should be a space in the educational budget for the essay competition. This is our 12th year. Our 12th year. Every year, we write the Ministry of Education a letter, advocating that the structure is there, the blueprint is there. So There's a budget already set. Every year we have to, look at it again, but it can be a part of the budget, the annual budget that is given to education. So we continually do that because you must understand the essay competition came out because we have been advocating for African history and heritage in the school for a while. So when we noticed, okay, this doesn't seem to be going anywhere, we started the African history essay competition. This is the 13th year. We also have 2 other laptops as well that will be a part of that prize giving ceremony, which is what we are working on now, the prize giving ceremony. So we're thankful for all those who have contributed. Those specifically who still want to contribute, that is not a problem at all, because as I said, the prize giving ceremony is now at hand. That is where the young ones would come out and families come out, and we do our best to make sure they have a gala evening and a proper send-off with the prizes that we intend to get more prizes as well, so that more children can celebrate. So yes, family, for those who think they may have missed the train, you can still assist. It's a lot of works. It's from the heart. For sure, this is not a business project. I could tell you, as I said, I don't have to come and tell the whole story, but we would have started our promotion a bit late this year. So a lot of what have already gone into it really is from us. But that's not a big problem at all. We understand the importance of it. I know exactly why I'm doing it. So those who think they understand, if you don't, that's all right. But those who think, hey man, I understand what's going on here, and it's good to see all these youths are getting, it's sparking their minds. They're at least looking into their Afrocentricity, because that's what's going on. And yet still we celebrate it as well. Try our best to make sure everyone gets something to celebrate and send it off in a memorable way. So yeah, it's obvious, because you need to in this world, in this time, I mean, when the evil forces coming from every angle, and it's almost like when Mussolini came in Ethiopia, Rasta, with tanks and planes, and we just had the musket where you shoot once and you had to reload it again, you see? So a little essay competition here and a little spelling bee over here is like muskets against Sesame Street. It's like muskets against all what's on the little thing that they play and twiggle their finger. It's like muskets that we have to load again against what's on all the social media. We're lost. Even the muskets seem to be more powerful. It's rocks and sticks we have. If we have that much, I want you to understand the analogy. So that is why we expect more of us to do more for our people. But listen to this. Sometimes doing more for your people, maybe contributing to those who you see doing already. But somehow that still don't come in as yet. But it's all right. We give thanks for those who have seen the vision. That's why I'm very thankful for those who would have put forward their hand, because this is about liberation. That's really what it is, royal family. And when you hear us push the evolution, it's because I personally believe redemption and the liberation of us got to start with us on an economical level as well. Yeah, we got to be pushing economics and business. Not no little talk now, little small business and entrepreneur business talking, real billionaire status people. If you intend to rise the nation and rise the condition of your people, what else, how you expect to do it? Anyway, give thanks, royal family. Again, all the links are in the description below. You could definitely email me and definitely let me know that, well, I would like to contribute to the essay competition. You could ask if you want to still see the contribution sheet, that's not a problem. Or if you just want to, out of your heart, pledge whatever it is. Remember, we have the Cash App, we have the PayPal. I think we have everything there, man. Just contact us, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com. And of course, the link in the description below. And give thanks for fasting and praying. Give thanks for hymn book and Bible way. Remember, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And of course, you know, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Give thanks continually, royal family, life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Love. Yes, I.
Are you interested in learning ancient astronomy, archaeoastronomy, or astrotheology? Well, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge is now offering certified courses in the field of astronomy covering all the above mentioned. Sign up now for our online courses or visit us in Antigua in the Caribbean for 7 days and 7 nights of practical underground research, plus archaeoastronomical observation on Green Castle Hill. You will learn how to identify the stars, the constellations, and the planets, as well as their makeup and their value. This will be a studycation. Enroll today by visiting our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or sending us an email, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, or search us out on TripAdvisor, the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, Ancient Astronomy, Archaeoastronomy, and Astrotheology, the wave of the future.